Oh, hi there. Today is April 3rd, and we're back for another reading of Lafcadio, the lion who shot back. All right, we found out some very interesting things about this lion yesterday that kind of shocked us that lions will even do and say some of the things that this lion said. So we're going to finish up chapter 2 from yesterday, and then we're going to jump into chapter 3. All right. For chapter 2, we're going to find out what kind of traits does this lion have. So we're going to be listening to the things that he says and watching the things that he does. And that's going to lend itself to finding out what character traits does this lion have. All right, let's get into it. And after he had eaten all of the hunters, he ate the hunter's red cap, but it tasted sort of woolly. And after he had eaten the red cap, doesn't it make your mouth feel funny to think about eating a red cap? He tried to eat up the funny stick and the bullets, but couldn't chew them. So he said, well, I guess I will keep these as souvenirs. And he picked them up and put them in his teeth and carried them back to the other lions. All right, guys, we're moving into chapter 2. Now, the other lions were all sitting around telling stories about who was the fastest in running away from the hunters and who was the bravest and who was the fiercest and other lies like lies that lions talk about. And when the young lion walked up to them carrying the funny stick, they all jumped up and said, "Yowie! Yow! Wow! And where did you get that gun from?" So the young lion replied, "Gun? Gun? What is a gun?" "That's the stick that they shoot us with," said the old lion. "Now take it out of here and throw it away. It gives me goosebumps just to look at it." Now, wasn't that a silly thing to say? Imagine a lion getting goosebumps. That was as silly as a goose getting lion bumps. So the young lion sadly walked away with the gun in his teeth. "I wonder," the young lion said to himself, "I wonder how they shoot this thing." So he picked up a bullet and he put it in his teeth and he pushed it into the gun with his nose and he shoved it into the barrel with his tongue. Then he stuck his left tooth into the trigger and tried to shoot it, but he couldn't. Then he stuck his right tooth into the trigger and tried to shoot it, but he couldn't. And then he tried to pick it up with his paws and shoot it with his claws, which was even sillier. And he tried to shoot it with his whiskers, and all he got out of that was tired whiskers. And he stuck his tail into the trigger and he pulled it as hard as he could, and the gun went boom! And all the other lions jumped up in the air and again started to run away. "Hey," said the young lion. "Hey, stop running. It is only me and I have shot the gun." Well, I tell you that when the other lions found out it was only the young lion making all that noise, they were very angry. Hey, you better have forgot about shooting," they said, "and stick to lioning where you belong." Well, every afternoon while the other lions were sleeping, he would sneak away over the mountain and he would practice and practice and practice for hours and hours until one day he was able to lift the gun up in his paws. And he practiced and practiced for days and days until finally he was able to shoot the gun, but of course he wasn't able to hit anything except the sky. And so what do you think he did? Exactly. He practiced and practiced for weeks and weeks until finally he was able to hit the big mountain. And he practiced and practiced for months and months until soon he was able to shoot the waterfall. And soon he was able to shoot the cliff. And soon he was able to shoot the trees, and soon the coconuts off the trees, and then the berries off the bush, and then the flies off the berries, and then the ears off the flies, and then the dust off the ears, and finally the sunlight off the dust. And do you think he was a good shot? Well, just the best in the world, that is. Just the best shot in the whole wide world. And what did he do for ammunition? Why, every time he ran out of bullets, he just went out and ate up another hunter and took his bullets and went back and practiced some more. So let's think about this. The lion started off one way with the gun, but he ended up being something else with the gun. How do you think he became what he ended up? They told us a lot of things about it. And they also said a lot of things that the lion did and said. So we can gather some character traits about this lion. So let's think about it, because in our next quick write, we're going to be saying what character traits did the lion have and how can you show evidence? All right, that's it for today's reading.